Good evening, everyone. If you don't know, you should know. My name is Rameez Khan, and I'm a filmmaker and a film critic. And I didn't really want to see Doctor Strange, but I ended up seeing Doctor Strange, so let's talk about it. The Marvel Cinematic Universe and Marvel Studios have kind of perfected the event film. Civil War is an event film, the first Avengers and Age of Ultron are event films, and they're all fun films. Going to an origin story kind of downgrades the flow and rhythm they have in their cinematic universe currently. And Batman Begins has ruined the possibility of a new superhero origin story possibly being better. This is one of the many issues with Doctor Strange, first of them being that he is not interesting enough to warrant an origin story. The first act is completely devoid of any heart, and it's so obvious that they're following a template, the superhero movie template if you will, and it contains some god-awful exposition as well. There's a scene where Benedict Cumberbatch emphasizes how bad his accident is while he's asking an intern, have you ever seen someone with such severe nerve damage to ever be cured? Instead of us seeing him break down, like that silent scene in The Dark Knight when Harvey Dent wakes up, we never get to see how bad he's hurt mentally. His car crash also happens off screen. Much of the first act is very rushed, and it comes to my knowledge that this film takes place between Phase 1 and Phase 3, so that's possibly the reason why it's so rushed. Doctor Strange himself seems like a hodgepodge of other MCU characters, and I'm not talking about the comic book, I'm talking about his character in the movies. He's like a combination of Tony Stark and Bruce Banner. He's a doctor who has a ton of quips. Another quippy Marvel character, never seen that before. And I also don't think Benedict Cumberbatch was a good choice for the title role. Whereas he does some fine stuff with the character, this is more of a casting issue than it is an acting issue, but there are issues in both departments. Benedict Cumberbatch to me doesn't scream superhero. He doesn't have the physique, the build, or even the personality of superhero. When I look at him, I see an average person with some hidden gifts. He fits in as these hyper-intelligent but selfless people as seen in The Fifth Estate and The Imitation Game where he was playing Julian Assange and Alan Turing respectively. Doctor Strange is a punk as well. He's not very likable and Benedict Cumberbatch cannot make him likable either. The script again doesn't help Benedict Cumberbatch's case either. Instead of Doctor Strange becoming a more mellow and jazzed out dude, he becomes more arrogant after his accident. I believe this could have been solved if they switched actors. My pick? Cast Ewan McGregor as Doctor Strange. I'd like to see that. And the problems with the casting continue. The supporting cast, except for Mads Mikkelsen and Chiwetel Ejiofor, I hope I pronounced that right, are pretty off as well. Specifically disappointing are the female cast, however. Rachel McAdams, this poor woman, she can act, but everyone keeps casting her as that same romantic interest, that cliched romantic interest. She doesn't even get to be in complex love stories such as Blue Valentine. She was pretty neat in True Detective Season 2 because it was something different. So Rachel McAdams is wasted in this film, but so is Tilda Swinton, the other woman in this film, as her voice does not break a single octave. Monotonous line delivery throughout the film as if she's putting you to sleep. I was rolling my eyes throughout the film. It's so transparent now, the superhero movie genre template, if you will. The whole genre, in my opinion, when it comes to movies needs an overhaul, or just stick to TV. Superhero stories and comic book stories really shine when it comes to television. One of the things you can do on a platform such as Netflix, if this were a TV show, is not worry about the ratings. Doctor Strange is rated PG-13 because, of course, we need kids to see these movies. And that does end up hurting Doctor Strange. With his magic, he doesn't seem to do anything cool. We never get to see Doctor Strange rip apart a man with his bare fingers. Something I always wanted to see in an X-Men movie. I wanted to see Magneto rip out Wolverine's adamantium skeleton, but that never happened as well. Didn't hurt the X-Men movie, but it hurt Doctor Strange quite a bit. It's just boring. Doctor Strange, the coolest thing he does with his magic is make circles which work as portals. Boring. Lame. However, visually, there is one thing which is pretty eye-pleasing. The LSD-type black holes he falls through in the beginning of the film and how the images marry each other to create something completely new is the highlight of the film for me, visually. There's one scene in this film when Doctor Strange is tripping out and all of his fingers, all 5 of his fingers, form little mini tiny hands. And he puts that massive hand of his on his face and the virtual camera zooms out to show that his face is made up of a hodgepodge of hands, all in different locations. And that was a pretty neat visual moment. It legitimately made me smile. Sadly, that's the only time I smiled watching Doctor Strange. With that being said, I'm giving Doctor Strange a final score, a very disappointing score of 2 out of 5. This is not what I expect from Marvel. Then again, this was a completely unnecessary film to make. My recommendation? Stay home and pop in a Harry Potter film. You'll feel more satisfied. Thank you so much for watching, people. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that free subscribe button and smash that like button. But until next time, remember to love yourselves.